Hey, hello guys, guess who's back with a brand new tutorial. Today we're going to talk about keying and actually making your keyed out footage composite better with a background. And to be more specific, I'm going to show you how to create the LightWrap effect to pull some of the pixels and colors onto your foreground element from the background. And this is something that is really recommended to do whenever compositing a keyed out footage against any background. So let's just get started. Here I've got some keyed out footage. As you can see, it's a keyed out edit actually. And we're going to pull some pixels from the background to make it look a little bit better. So first of all, let's open up the effects palette. Let's make some room here. And the first effect we need to apply is set channels. And right now we're going to choose our background layer here, like so, and now we can see that our foreground element completely disappeared, right? And this is good for now, because what we're trying to do with this is we'd like to keep the edge of the alpha feathered out to the inside and then blending that with the original footage. So this is our goal for today. So this was the first step. The second step is to apply channel blur. And here we can set the blurriness of the alpha, so let's set it up to about 20. That looks good, and of course repeat edge pixels so we don't have anything nasty in here. Just show you again. Okay, that's good. And additionally, we can blur the pixels from the background, so let's just set this to 10. That's good. Now we need to invert the alpha, so let's just go to the levels, individual channels, that's right, go down to alpha and switch those two parameters. Like so. Now we need to apply CC Composite. Let me just show you what the alpha looks like right now. Not very good, right? So we need to get rid of all those blacks, so basically everything that was outside of our original alpha. So just grab CC Composite, drop it in here, and set the blending mode to stencil alpha. You don't see it, but it's here. Okay, much better, right? So the only thing I have to do is to bring back the original pixels, so we can drop the CC Composite back again and set the blending mode to add and switch off the RGB only. And there we go. Pretty nice. Let me just go ahead and turn the effects off for a second. Let's turn on the background, and this is with LightWrap and this is without. And there are of course some plugins to do that, but they're all pretty expensive and they don't usually come standalone. Most of all, they are a part of a bundle for improving your keying. And one of those bundles is actually Key Correct Pro that you can get from Red Giant Software, which if you're doing a lot of keying, I really recommend. It cuts down the time and, decreases the amounts of headaches that you have while keying. But one way or the other, LightWrap is something that you should really consider doing whenever compositing an object with alpha. It might be a keyed out footage, or it might be like a PNG with some graphics, whatever. I really recommend using light wrapping for better compositing with your background. And one more tip here. Set channels does not allow us to create any expressions, and this is really unfortunate because otherwise we would put a layer controller in here and create an expression for those three parameters to take the layer from this place. But unfortunately that's not possible. But what we can do is we can bring two sliders. Let's bring first one in and duplicate the second one, and let's name this wrap with, and this one BG blur. And we can take the BG blur and just connect it here, and then just copy this expression and paste it to the green and the blue as well. And now take the alpha blurriness and link it to the width. Like so. And let's see if it works. 20. Okay, very nice. And BG blur about 10. Okay, great. Fantastic. And now it is ready to be saved as a preset. So just select all the effects, put it in your preset palette and just save it. So I hope you've enjoyed this short tutorial. And oh, stop the music, stop the music. There's more. After over 1 year of providing free content, I thought that maybe it's about time to give you guys a chance to say thank you. So what I've prepared, especially for you guys, is a nice custom effect that is, of course, called LightWrap. And it has all the features that you just saw and many more. Of course, you may choose to just follow my tutorial and create your own preset, but I hope that you can spend a few bucks to get a really nice and really well working tool that will save you some time each time you want to create a LightWrap effect around the layer. So let me just show you how this custom effect is better from what I just showed you how to create on your own. Here I have a demo composition, and in here you can see the layer without any light wrapping, so a default render that you would get just by simply putting the layer on top of a background. And here is an option that is called self-wrapping, which basically means that it doesn't pull the pixels from the background, it blends and light wraps the original layer onto itself. Basically, does this make any sense? Well, you can see a slight difference. And it actually looks pretty nice, even though we're not pulling any pixels from the background. So this is the first look that you can achieve. Let me just show you the second one. The second one is called wrapping by pixels. And this basically pulls the nearest pixel from the background, which is exactly what I just showed you how to create. And the last option is background wrapping by environment. And this, take a look at those dark areas in here, especially when I turn it off. And this pulls the pixels from the entire background. So we can see that now those leaves are casting a little bit of light onto her head, and basically it looks a little bit different than wrapping the nearest pixel. And there's actually even more than I just showed you. So let's just go ahead and apply the light wrap effect. And we can easily twirl all those things down. Don't change anything that says FX. Those are basically plugins applied to achieve this effect. The only thing that you can change is in this group called Polygon Studio LightWrap. If you want the LightWrap to work in self mode, you have to make sure that the source layer in here is set to none or to your footage. And this is actually the only place that you can change something. But the only things are source layer 1, 2, and 3. Nothing more. Don't touch anything else, otherwise you may experience some problems when using the preset. So let's just select our background here. Like so. And this is the default look, right? But it looks a little bit different than what I showed you in the demo. Let me just show you what the difference is. First of all, we've got the feather alpha, which is an additional parameter, which just blurs the alpha channel a little bit. Let me just turn off the transparency grid and turn off the background layer so we can see how it works. When I set it to 0, we got a sharp edge. And if we set it to 10 or some other low value, we were basically smoothing out and blurring the alpha channel a little bit, just like feathering it. Next, we've got light settings, which basically change the appearance of the light being cast onto the layer. We can lighten it up or darken it a little bit, which is something that you probably don't want to do, but you know, if you want to, you can do that. And we've got saturation as well. We can pump it up to 200, which is the maximum value. 100 is no change, right? This is in percentage, so this is no change. 0 is no saturation at all. And it actually looks pretty good when pumped up to 200. Not that bad. Let's check it against the background. Okay, pretty good. Maybe let's feather it a little bit less, like 5. Okay. And pull it back to 100. Also, we've got the environmental switch. Let me just increase this. Yes, environmental light. and this will cause the whole environment to cast light onto the layer. And the most exciting feature is the color matcher, because this allows you to make the color space of your foreground layer to match color space of the background layer a little bit better. Let me just turn the color matching off and you'll see the difference instantly, right? This is the original and this is with color matching. And you can also set the strength to 100 or even more if you like to. I think this is a little bit too much. You can preserve the luminosity when matching colors, and also if you don't like the look, you can go down to the color sampler and uncheck automatic, and this will allow you to choose the highlight, midtones and shadows by hand, thus changing the effect of how the color matcher affects your footage. So let me just pick some random colors here. Maybe let's set this yellow to highlights, set midtones to something like this, greenish, and shadows here. And as you can see, this looks totally different. I think we need to decrease the saturation on this one, so something like this maybe. And okay, yeah, this looks pretty nice. So to sum everything up, now you know how to create your own LightWrap effect. But even though I hope you will choose to spend a few bucks to help me out, guys, because I've been providing those tutorials for a really long time and it really takes a lot of time, effort, and unfortunately money as well. So instead of buying a beer and a pack of smokes, spend that money on this great preset. And by the way, you'll be healthier. So once again, this is Maltanon. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. See you in the next one. Happy After Effecting.